Hello everyone, in this video I will tell you how to create models for Fantasy Grounds and Syrinscape. When you make any action in Fantasy Grounds, you can hear sounds. When you make attack, you hear sounds. When you cast a spell, you hear, and your players hear sounds. This work has already done by many authors. We say about paid extension to Fantasy Grounds. This is Fantasy Grounds Sound Links and Fantasy Grounds Sound Chat Triggers. But it is all done for D&D 5th edition. When you say about other systems, there is no such program. You need manually to edit triggers, and it's a lot of work. I made a program that automatically do it for you. When you use program, you can easily create sound model and use it for Fantasy Grounds for any system. What do you need? You must have Fantasy Grounds Syrinscape Sound Links. Second, you need Syrinscape basic or advanced account, but in free account you have not very many sounds to hear. And you need Fantasy Grounds, of course. I will tell you how to create. The main problem that these extensions are valid for D&D 5th edition. It can be used for other systems, but they are not work well because the triggers are different. For example, we take Pathfinder the 2nd edition. In this video, I will tell you the example how to create such model for the Pathfinder 2nd edition. This is Fantasy Grounds, and we have main difference between D&D that weapon has 3 attacks and they should have 3 triggers. The first is attack. Hit, you hear, it's worked, and the second it's not worked because the trigger has the number 2, and of course the third attack is not working too. So we should change all triggers for every weapon to work good in this rule set. And we have different magic. For example, we have, burning hands. It can be, and for example, light. Light have not any signs expect of effect, but when you cast it, no sounds, of course. But we should trigger on this when we cast spell. So our trigger for spells should be perhaps this one. Now, when we cast Burning Hands, we often click on this. So our trigger should not have this one because we click it on the end of spell when we push this button and then take maybe damage to enemy, and only then we should click here in the end of our casting. So we should trigger the system only when we cast it. So we have 2 triggers on spells and 3 and 4 triggers on weapon because of damage, critical hits, regular attack and multi-attack. So 4 triggers for weapon and 2 triggers for spell. Now I will teach you how to write them. Open SoundTrig program. You can find here ini file trigger ini. Open it with any text editor, Notepad. Here is already standard triggers for attack, hit and critical, and empty triggers which are containing only name for other categories. And here you can see how to use and write triggers. This is format of trigger. The first is the trigger prefix, what the name of this trigger, and the second is trigger name suffix, what is the end of the trigger name. In the middle of this is name of the trigger. For example, if you have trigger weapon flail and prefix suffix attack, the trigger will be named flail attack. Now let us add trigger for multi-attack. We just stay prefix empty because the first in the name will be name, and the second we write space and multi-attack. Okay, the second is we have regex. This is a regular extension of language. We should state one. Second is locked. Locked, I recommend to use one. It can be 1 or 0. No other parameters are supported. And the third is letter exchange. This is the example when you print name in the trigger. When the letter exchange is equal to 1, the name will be exchanged for this one. That means when you use weapon that from upper letter or lower letter, the trigger still happens. We state to 1, 2. Next, we need trigger. We just copy this trigger, but the difference with multi-attack is that we have the such way or such way. We can write it so. You can read help in Syrinscape Sound Link module about how to write triggers. The suffix of the trigger is nil because we need not any suffix, just trigger prefix or trigger. So we state empty. And the last field, 0, because we have not any additional triggers. I tell about this one. So let us count triggers. 0, 1, 2, 3. So our multi-attack is trigger number 1. We add here 1. When we choose trigger attack, the additional trigger of multi-attack will be added to this trigger, and we have a total of 2 triggers on attack and hit and critical, total 4 triggers. So we have done with attacks. Now go to spells. We need 2 triggers. First, it is the spell to cast. Let us name it spell name and then cast. Second is just action. So on triggers, when we call cast, it will be just cast and space. When we use action, that means we just click light. It is just and the name. Now save it and let us run our program. Open program, and now we have empty list, no any triggers. Let us add triggers for attack. We have in our folder just such way all Pathfinder weapons in text file, no more. So add items. Choose here. You see we have multi-attack, hit, critical, and attack. When we choose multi-attack, we get 2 triggers. This is for attack, this is for hit, and this is for critical. Okay, we have Syrinscape. Let us find fighter. We need hit. Here is one. This is just attack. So its name is 2477. Edit here and hit. Just copy from here and critical. Okay, we set sounds, we chose our trigger, and now load our weapons. Okay, now we have all weapons from Pathfinder 2. Okay, we had all weapons, and now just press enter. Okay, we have all our weapons added. It have 3 modes: attack, hit, and critical. When we chose hit, it have such trigger. When we chose critical, it has such trigger, and you can see that the sound is changing too. You can hear it. Oh, host requires authentication. Yes, of course, you need to add your token. Syrinscape control panel and copy your token. Now open program, choose settings and enter your code. Okay. Okay, now we're ready to play. For example, attack. You hear? You need a Syrinscape online player to play it. Hit and critical. This is for every weapon with just one click, almost 140 weapons. No need to do it by hand to create every trigger. What? Of course, you can edit any trigger you like. For example, to the Dodger. or fist. Let us take a fist, for example. We can add trigger, any trigger, just hit, critical, or custom. For example, we need another custom trigger. Okay, edit. It can be any 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yes, it appeared here. You can use a regular expression or no regular expression to do it, but it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. When we write 1, 2, 3, 4, we will hear sounds as fist attack. Here are the sounds. So, okay, let us save it. Now we go to spells. We can edit with the same way, but we have a problem when different spells have different triggers. How can we go around it? Open your spells. For example, Acid Splash has first trigger and Arctic Boost have second trigger. We should add here 0 for the first trigger and 1 for the second trigger. Save it. Now add items. Difference. This means that the program will understand that first our trigger has 0 and the second has 1. So this is different triggers for 0 and 1. Now set sounds. We can open first level spell. It will be such sound. Past. Open our spell list. Almost 700 spells. Okay, we should wait a little. You see that Arctic Boost has different trigger. It can be done for any spells and any triggers. Now let us find light so we can test it. Here is light. You hear sound. We can add another trigger for light. Just press the button, and we can delete previous trigger for light because no cast when we... Oh, we are misclicked. We need light, not light of revelation. Okay, no problem. Just add such trigger and remove such trigger. You can add another trigger to light, for example, custom trigger. For TT. Okay. Finished. So we can delete this. No problem. If we have a trigger we didn't want, we just can summon animal del. Confirm. Yes. Everything is deleted. So let us save it. When you save database, SoundTrig program save it to sounddb file. If you can open it and open with for example Notepad. You can see the form of trigger It is a bit tricky, but I think you needn't it. But you can see it. Of course, it has database backups when you save it or exit from program. This is a backup file of the program. So you can now you can save and exit when you open it. Another time you can see all of spells and items here. And the program backup will be here. It's often make backups. So now let us create our model. Just click export to model file. The name is already exists. Save. Another way that program can do is convert your Syrinscape Sound Links to file. You can download them. Save. Okay, now you can just click Tools and convert this file to model. He asks to save as a model. Okay, everything is done. Now everything you must do, just close our Fantasy Grounds and copy our models to it. So you can open library, models, and here is our sound models. They are already loaded. Here we can open them. Okay, chat triggers. Oh, the trigger was edited from previous one, so just delete or just revert it to its default. It was Dodger, which I was edited before. The model has the same name. So we can choose attack. Here is our multi-attack trigger. We can hear it. Yes. And now choose spells. Let us find light. Here is light action, and light. It has only one trigger and no regex. So when we print we hear sounds, and when we open our character actions, when we cast light, we hear sounds again. When we cast any spell, we hear no sounds. That's right, because we make an error while making trigger. We should write % symbol before square bracket. No problem, we can fix it easily. Just open sound trigger ini. Where is it? Here is. Open with notepad. Yes. Spells cast should be like this. Save. Now when we open our program, open attacks and open spells. You see everything is fixed. Now you just can save to mod file. Save. Yes, replace it. Okay, no problem. We have replaced all the triggers with one click. So there is another ability of the program. If you have this model Syrinscape Sound triggers, you can export sounds from it. Just open analyze, open file from it. You should open XML file. This is old extension. This is database file. Extract it and open it. Click map and you will get all map from the file. Every spell, you can see I disable sounds because the work of the authors of this extension made to assign sounds with weapon. You can buy it and just download module and you have all map that I have. You can copy this map and past Pathfinder weapons here and load it and everything will be working. You just, this is different filters, air map, by name, by sound. So, to make it work, click on map, find, for example, this one, copy it, or just save selected as map, save it. Okay, now items, add item list. Nothing should be done here. Just open map. Okay, they are loaded. Okay, and you see the sound is loaded and you can hear sounds. So this is almost everything how this program is working. Maybe a small addition that I forget is, of course, you can change any sound as you like. You can make anytime it. I hope this video will be useful for you. Thank you for watching. Bye.